Okay, welcome back. Now that we have our stock completed, we're going to start working on the rear sight. Now I didn't want to just use the standard rear sight that came with the A5. If you ask me, it's pretty junky. The plastic's fine, but the sight's not quite like a real G3 sight, so I popped off the G3 sight that was on the back of the JG airsoft rifle. And it has the notches and the various Doppler sights here, the round versus just having notches on all four sides like this sight. Also, in addition to that, and it has the markings, I want to be able to sight down this marker with a mask on. So the standard sight sits way too low for me to actually do that relatively easily. So we're going to combine these two and increase the height of the drum sight so that I'll be able to sight down it properly with a mask on. Now I find that in order to sight down a sight with a mask on, you need at least 2 to 2.5 inches of space from the stock. So from about this point to about here is where I'll be able to see properly with a mask. So about 2 inches up. So if we cut across from there, so from this point up, so the sight has to sit about this high, about 1 inch off of there for it to be a proper sight picture. So with this piece added in and this one on top, hopefully we should be reaching the 1 inch-ish mark. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to trim this down some. This will be fairly quick and easy. I'm just going to cut it right at the line for this sight. Now be careful when using a Dremel tool. I know I'm like a little close here to my fingers, but I've been using the tool for a while. Of course I say that now, hopefully I don't cut myself. But I'm just going around basically cutting the plastic. Also be careful, it gets fairly hot. The plastic starts like melting. And it's hot to the touch. I'm almost got that cut. It's getting a little bit warm. Ouch. Like I said, yeah, it gets pretty hot to the touch. That plastic will peel off here. I didn't quite get it cut the whole way. So I'll go ahead and finish cutting this and getting it sanded down and make it look nice and neat. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I finished sanding this drum sight down quite a bit there. Just sanding it nice and smooth, cut it. So that way I can fit the top piece on, and we're just going to JB weld that onto there like that. This piece I just took off the JG rifle. It actually came apart, which is fine. It comes with this little screw. I left that screw in there. I'm just going to basically dump JB weld down in there, and I'm just going to fit this all together, and that screw will help reinforce things. It'll just go right into there. Should fit together nicely. Now, before I weld that on there, JB weld it on, epoxy it, I'm going to go ahead and mount the rear sight onto here. I'm going to tighten this up because I want to make sure it clicks into certain notches in there, and I want to make sure that's clicked in so I have this actually positioned correctly on the correct click. We're just going to be a little bit more careful with the JB welding here with the epoxying. So I'm gonna set the marker up like this, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do the epoxying upright. Now I have my JB weld over here. It's a 2-part epoxy, as you can see here. I have both parts already squeezed out, semi-equal parts. You just gotta kind of mix it together. It takes about 24 hours to set, so once it's mixed. So we got some working time with this stuff. It's no big hurry once you get this mixed up. You got basically 5 hours or something ridiculous to work with it before it actually starts getting a little bit hard. Even then you can pretty much mold it around. So we'll just mix it together until it's all uniform color like that. We're going to get my sight ready. I'm going to go ahead and, whoops, dropped it. I'm going to go ahead and put some epoxy in here. I just like to use toothpicks just to kind of help me get everything set here. Toothpicks are pretty easy to work with. Helps me be a little bit more precise getting everything set in there. So I'm going to go ahead and, oops, put a little epoxy inside here as well, because I want to glue that other piece in. This looks pretty forgiving. You can just kind of wipe it off if you smear it anywhere. So we'll go ahead and set this piece up here. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to kind of smear a little bit around the edges. I want to go ahead and get like contact here. And just flatten this off. I want it to be able to contact the epoxy when I put it on there. Now I'm going to look and make sure everything's lined up the way I want it. I'm just going to use the notch sight for now to make sure everything's lined up correctly. Put a little bit of epoxy inside. I'm going to drop my piece down in there. And I'm in a mess. Alright, I'm going to take that back off. Like I said, it's fairly forgiving. Keep a towel handy, shop rag. We can always clear this stuff off later as well. Try not to make a super mess on the marker, but sometimes it happens a little bit. I don't want it oozing everywhere. So we'll just go ahead and clear excess off and get everything lined up. So once this is set, pretty much just like that, we're just going to let it set like that overnight. Takes 24 hours to dry. Should be pretty good. Minimal painting necessary. I may just give it a quick coat of paint as well after this dries. I'll take it off. I'll just spray the drum sight itself. And just get rid of that line there so that it looks all uniform. And that'll be pretty much it for the drum sight. So once it's done, it looks similar, something like this. I'll show you guys a little bit later on what the drum sight looks like. Probably just in the next video. I don't think it's worth me doing another part to this video. I'll just show you in the handguard video. So the handguard video is probably going to be multiple parts. That one's going to be quite a bit more extensive to work with. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the drum sight. Hopefully it'll be tall enough now I can actually use it for a mask, with a mask, and actually correspond to the trajectory of the paintball. So if you have a taller rear sight and a shorter front sight, you'll be aiming up a little bit, so you'll be able to actually hit targets at a further distance, about 100 feet out, is what the sight should be sighted in at, hopefully. So, alright, well, we'll see you in the next video when I start working on the handguard.